Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Quantum Entanglement. The actual full name of the puzzle is Quantum Entanglement Sums, which definitely makes sense when you actually take a look at the rule sets in the grid. Now, good news, despite the quantum entanglement and the recent play with Heisenberg equation, this does have a unique solution. So we're not exactly talking about Heisenberg cells or cells that have multiple values. This is a relatively straightforward puzzle, 1-star difficulty rating. Although I admit it does look a little bit more intimidating than other recent 1-star difficulty rated puzzles. Of course, in the thumbnail you can see a couple of, well, quantum particles that are somehow entangled. Whenever you look for quantum entanglement, you always end up with some sort of picture that looks not hugely dissimilar to what you see in there, as if somehow that's meant to represent it. I don't know if it does. I guess we'll never really know, not necessarily in our lifetimes anyway. Let's take a look at today's puzzle rather than get also theoretical. So, Quantum Entanglement Sums by Will Power. And I guess before I take a look at the rules, I'll explain why I think it's fairly relevant. So first off, you got kind of this same swirl that people somehow always associate with quantum entanglement. But I think the key reason Will went with it is the rotational symmetry that's been given to us as part of the solve and the rule set, so we're meant to probably be using it at some point. Anyhow, normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. I'm really struggling with highlighting today. Hopefully my typing will be fine. Then we have rotational symmetry, but not rotational symmetry like most of us normally associate it. So numbers 180 degrees apart sum to 9, not 10, except for the 9s, which sum to 18. So if this cell here was a 1, for example, that cell here would have to be an 8, so that when you rotate it 180 degrees around the center cell, kind of row 5, column 5, then these two cells that are essentially going to be rotationally symmetrical have to add up to 9. We have a RENBAN plus variant today, so numbers on purple lines are each a set of non-repeating consecutive numbers in any order, but the plus part explains in this puzzle the 4 RENBAN lines contain the same set as one another. So for example, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh no, it's an 8-cell RENBAN. And therefore, if the digit 1, for example, is on there, then you know that the rest of this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in some order. But more importantly, you know that this is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The fact that it's an 8-cell RENBAN, essentially we're either missing a 1 or a 9. All the other digits will be present, and it will be consistent across all of these purple lines. Up to us to figure out which one is the missing digit from these purple lines. Is it the 1 or the 9? What else do we know? We have KROPKI pairs. Numbers with a white dot between them are consecutive, and numbers with black dots between them are in a 2-to-1 ratio, and not all possible dots are shown. So this cell here, let's go with this cell actually. If this is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that one cell is double the other. And here, because it's a white dot, this would have to be 1 or 3, because it's consecutive. These cells have to be 1 apart. Of course, rotational symmetry still applies here, so 2 would be 7, yada, yada, yada. Oof. Not all dots are shown, just means that, I can have 2 and 4, for example, without a black dot between them, and a 2 and 3 without a white dot between them. That's all totally acceptable. So that's all the rules we have for today. Really looking forward to playing this. If you want to, entangle along, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. Let's take a note of the time, and we're off. So I'm pretty sure the center digit has to be a 9. An actual 9, not a pencil mark 9. Now, essentially, if you're rotating this puzzle symmetrically, the 9 will end up on itself, and then it will add up to 18. Any other digit, such as 4, well, 4 would have another 4 on top of it. That'd be 8, not 9. And the fact that it's an odd digit tells us there is no digit. I can't write 4.5 in here. to make sure that it does add up to 9. So that's got to be a 9. The other thing that there's quite a few things that I like about this. So first off, row 5, very interesting. Second, box 8, very interesting, with 3 black Kropki dot sets. Let's start with row 5. You can see that there is 4 consecutive digits and another 4 consecutive digits. Forgetting even rotational symmetry, you know that for this to work, one of them has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. One of them has to be 5, 6, 7, 8. And we don't necessarily know which is which, but we'll give it a go. So we kind of do for one of them, so I'll explain. So essentially, this could go 1, 2, 3, 4, but it could obviously go the other way around, 4, 3, 2, 1. But there is one more that actually works, of course, which is very specifically 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't go the other way around because 8, 7, 6, 5 would end up with a 5 on the black Kropki dot, which absolutely does not work. We've got the same sort of setup in here. This is 1, 4, 8, this is 2, 3, 7, this is 2, 3, 6, and this is 1, 4, 5. You can actually use rotational symmetry straight away and essentially eliminate the 4s because these two cells have to add up to 9. There's another way to remove the rotational symmetry. We know because of the 5 can't be on the black Kropki dot, therefore the 5, 6, 7, 8 run has to have the 8 on here. And 8 on a black Kropki dot always has to have a 4. That eliminates the 4 from the middle. And obviously as a result, it eliminates 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And now we definitely have something that is rotationally symmetrical and adds up to 9. Right. What else can we do? This is not, oh, hang on. Yeah, this is not a 1. If that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 2. And you might think initially that's not a problem, but yes it is. This is a RENBAN. There are no repeat digits on a RENBAN. This has to be the digits 1 to 8 once each. 2 2s absolutely does not work. So that is the 8, that is the 4, that is 7, 6, 5. Got some digits at minute 3. And that's got to be a 2. Lovely. We have a break-in. We can keep going with rotational symmetry. I'm making it harder on myself by jumping and taking a look at box 6. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Oh, gone then. That's 5, that's 7, and this is 3, 6. Right. Why am I interested in box 8, excuse me, not box 6, that's box 6, box 8. Why am I interested in this? If you think about black Kropki dots, there are essentially 4 pairs. And if you use 2 and 4, well, you've broken 2 of them, because you've used the 2 from the 1, 2, the 4 from the 4, 8, and you've only got left 2. So that doesn't work. So this black Kropki dot is essentially 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 8. And I can tell, I can color them and show you, but I can already tell which one is which to a degree. This is clearly not the 4, 8. This is clearly not the 3, 6. This is not the 1, 2. I've got a few ideas. What ideas do I have? So this RENBAN has no more 1, 2s on it. So this set is from 4, 8 and 3, 6. And this is not the 3, 6 set. This is the 4, 8 set. Can't be a 1, 2. We've already used it on this RENBAN. So this is the 4, 8 set. This has to be the 3, 6 set for it to essentially not be 1, 2 and not be 4, 8. And this is the 1, 2 set. 1, 2, 4, 8 gives me a 3, 6 up here. And actually the 3, 6 is actually forced because of this 3, 6 for it to be rotationally symmetrical. 7 is not here. That's a 7. This is 5, 9, but we know that the 9s are not on the RENBANs because we've got a 1 on it. So that is not the 9. That's the 5. That's the 9. I can, of course, cop out here and use rotational symmetry because that 7 gives me a 2 up here, which gives me a 3, which gives me a 6, which gives me a 1, which gives me a 2, which gives me an 8, which gives me a 7. And the 9s have to be rotationally symmetrical because they add up to 18. 4 and 8 in here would be 5 and 1. And this digit is 4. Lovely. Yeah, look at this. Whenever you have a white dot connecting a black Kropki dot set, you know that this is, because remember, the sets were 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, and 4, 8. Now, if you look at all of this, well, the powers of 2s, I mean, technically you could do 1, 2 in here, but immediately you'll break the 1, so that doesn't work. But because the power of 2s are all even, and you always need an odd digit on a white Kropki dot, the odd digit is the 3. Connecting it is a 2, 4. The 3 in here tells me that's the 3, that's the 6. That continues here with rotational symmetry. That's the 3, that's the 6. This 2 or 4 could be a whole bunch of things, I don't know. Like any of them. Is it any of them? Yeah, because the rotational symmetry is not a 4, so ignore that. Now, 3 and 6 are not here. And this is interesting on this RENBAN because I need a second 3, 6. I've only got one of them in here. This cell has to be somewhere on this line, and it's not in these two cells because of this 3, 6. So that's another 3, 6. That's another 3, 6, of course, to make a black Kropki dot. Rotational symmetry gives me another 3, 6 in here. That 3 gives me a 6, a 3, gives me a 6, a 3, a 3, a 6. Come on, let's carry this on. You can see that this is not 5 or 7. That's got to be the 7. This is 4 or 8. This will be another 4 or 8, except it's not a 4. That's 8. That's 4. That's 8. And that's that RENBAN done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ironically, entirely in order. 8 in here gives me a 1 in here, which gives me a 5, a 1, a 5. Yeah, that was already the 4. And this one, I wrote this wrong. Luckily, luckily the 5 and 4 are fine, but that is not the 1. That is a 2. Excuse me. And that is a 1. Now that's looking better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Essentially kind of the rotational symmetrical equivalent of this one. I haven't solved these. Have I solved this one? I've not solved that one. I have removed the 1. Doesn't stop it from being a 2, 4 pair. In fact, there's a definite 4, no 3s, definite 4 in here, making this a definite 5. This cell might be interesting, this black Kropki dot. Yeah, I mean, RENBANs gives me 3 in here, means that's the 6, that's the 3. That was done ages ago. In here, I need a 1. I also need a 4, because 1 and 4 are not on these two cells, but they're not anywhere else on the RENBAN. This 4 gives me a 4, a 1, and therefore a 5 and 8. These two cells, I need a 7 on this RENBAN. That 7 tells me it's not here. That's a 7, and that is 6. 6? No, I've got 6. 8. 7 and 8 in here give me 1 and 2 in there. That's all the RENBANs done, so at least I don't have to look out for them. This cell surely is interesting because it's not 4 anymore. So I think this is limited to 1, 2, because it can't include a 4. And it's not 3 or 6. And obviously it can't be an 8 because 4 is not available. So yeah, 1, 2, which gives me 7, 8 in here. Not resolved for now. 6 is not there. That's the 6. That's the 3. This is 5, 9. And therefore this is 4, 9. The 4s are lining up. That gives me a 4 in here, a 5 there. Are these not resolving, really? Or am I just not paying attention? Probably not paying attention. Anyhow, this cell we know. because it's a 9. And therefore this is a 9. Sorry, I'm just so surprised these are not resolved somehow. This is 5, 7. That must resolve it. Yeah, the 7 gives me a 2. The 5 gives me a 4. So this is 2, 4. And yeah, that was resolved because of the 7, 8. I'm just not paying attention. Sleuth, just pay attention. Yeah, it's still that white KROPKI dot doesn't help. The 1 and 2 doesn't help. I feel like I'm missing something. Am I just being blind to something? Highly likely. This is 1, 7. That 7 gives me 7 here. 1, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, 9. Yeah, rotational symmetry. I say that as if it's a bad thing. It should be helping me. Is it helping me? That 7. Yeah, that means there's a 2 somewhere in here. That's the 2. That's an 8. That gives me 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5. Surely I'm nearly done now. Yeah, 1, 8, 9, 9, and 5. And if I've not made any mistakes, 4 for the finish. Lovely puzzle, Will. Lovely, lovely puzzle. I don't know if the rotational symmetry is actually necessary. I'm half tempted to try it again and ignore that rule and see how far I get along. Because you can see the break-in with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 8, 7, 6, 5, that was forced because of the RENBAN setup. And then this being 1, 2 is forced. 5, 7, still that trick of 5, 7, and 9 in here. Yeah, that would have forced the 5, 7 in there on this RENBAN. Very tempted to try it. Very tempted to try it. I may get stuck and it is forced at some point, but not that early on. So I think that's probably why it helped reduce the difficulty rating. I mean, it's helpful to know that the 9 is in the middle. So maybe if the 9 was given. I am going to give this a go. I will do it off camera. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. Much better than some of my clumsy solves on Sunday. And hope to see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.